It's my Big Ed walk. Shout out Big Ed.
I'm so happy right now.
Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Today, cozy fragrances, warm, sexy fragrances. That's what's on the docket. 10 of them, some niche and some designer. And I do need to warn you here right off the bat that even though the general idea here is warm, sweet, cozy fragrances that are great for cuddle weather, which yes, it makes me cringe when I say that. I hope it makes you cringe when you hear it. There are at least a couple of fragrances here that are just ungodly powerful, okay? So if you wanna keep them on the cozy side of things, you're gonna wanna do like 1, maybe 2 sprays. I'll let you know when we get to the fragrances so you know which ones we're talking about. But if you wanna keep those cozy, you're gonna wanna dial those sprays way down. Of course, you can say heck with that and just blast yourself with 15, who cares? At that point, you're gonna be smelled. Will it be a positive reaction that you get? I don't know, but you will be smelled. As always, I will have them all linked in the description underneath this table down there somewhere. Feel free to check those out and also check out these codes that you can use to save money. And just a fair warning, a forewarning that the code for Lucky Scent in October is going to change to a Gents 10. So that'll get you 10% off. You know how it does. Those codes, man, they change every so often. The Lucky Scent Gents 10 will be the one from October forward. So until then, I think it's 2023 Gents. Cool, we're on the same page. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's start checking these out. Oh, before we do the whole thing, I'm on TikTok. I gave into the dark side. I'm a Sith Lord on TikTok at Gents Scents. So if you use that app for some reason, I'm there doing different stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's go. The bucket of mystery is beneath me. Basket of mystery. Let's just grab one and throw it. Near disaster, but it's okay. Dusk from the Woods collection. Now this fragrance essentially is kind of a Leighton clone from Parfums de Marly. So if you wanted to, you could just go Leighton, or you could go with one of the other fragrances that smell similar to Leighton. White and Black by Lalique, a great choice. Detour Noir, great choice. This smells awesome. Yeah, this is fantastic. Like, this stuff smells great. Really sweet and spicy. Very similar to Leighton, though I would say more of that sugary sweetness off the top with Dusk than you're gonna get with Leighton. Man, it's almost mouth-watering. Stupid good, stupid good. The quality's really nice. The cap is magnetic. And it's a strong one. Yes. Love it. There is nothing worse than a fragrance that gives you a magnetic cap, but it's a really weak, piddly, crappy magnetic cap. Those are the worst. They're just super frustrating. At that point, give me a cap that clicks into place. Don't give me a half-hearted, weak magnetic cap. Give me one that's strong. Yes, fantastic. So as I said, similar to Leighton, this stuff, a compliment beast. I know that it's the Woods collection, so you would think that all the fragrances are gonna be extremely woody, but they're not. They're really actually closer to just being, like I said, clone fragrances, but they're good ones. And for the price at Joma Shop usually, it's a steal. That's where I see this one most often. It's usually sold out other places. It does sell out at Joma Shop too, but they have it in stock more often than other places. So that stuff is sick. Okay, next one. Let's go with, 1 Million Elixir. This one is strong, okay? This is one of the strong ones. It's not that Dusk is weak, because it isn't, but this is quite strong. Doesn't really have anything to do with the original 1 Million. You compare this side by side with that, it's not that close. It's actually a little bit closer to a Stronger With You type of scent profile. But this one very prominent with the vanilla. It's got quite a big blast of it, kind of a creamy vanilla, quite sweet, as I said. Tonka in there, a little rose and apple as well. This one though is a big compliment puller. Yeah, people love it. It's, to me, almost like the forgotten elixir. That's just for me personally, because Lamal elixir, big hype. Sauvage elixir, big hype. And then Invictus Victory elixir, for me, like that's another huge love. So 1 Million elixir kind of like fell by the wayside a little bit. But going back and revisiting, this stuff is, it's an attention grabber. Women love it. It's a really great fragrance for fall and winter time. But again, if you're wanting to have this as more of a sexy, warm, cozy type fragrance, dial down those sprays a bit because it can get cloying. It can cause headaches if you go too crazy. So keep that in mind. Okay, we got, ooh, okay. Wow, by Yope. It felt similar bottle-wise to another one that's in here that you'll see a little bit later. That's why I was confused for a second when I pulled it out. It wasn't the one I was expecting to see. What are you doing here? Who put you in this list? Oh, it's me. So this one is for the guys out there that don't want to spend too much money. You can get this from discounters for a pretty good price. A lot of times you can find it Fragrance Net, Fragrance Buy, Joma Shop for like under 30 bucks for a 50 mil, I believe. Or wait, I think it's a 40 mil with this one. It's like different sizes. But this smells pretty similar to CH Men by Carolina Herrera. So it's not quite as sweet as some of the other ones here, but it does have a little bit of that sweetness. Has a nice aromatic touch. It's one of those fragrances that has more versatility during fall and winter. It's not just an evening only fragrance that's crazy loud. Actually, in terms of performance, it's more middling. But because it is inexpensive, you can spray on more if you want and not really care about it. And if you want something that's going to be a little bit more cozy, potentially, kind of sensual, but with a versatile edge, this could work really well because it's not as overwhelmingly sweet or powerful like some of the others in this list. And it actually smells surprisingly really good for a cheapie from Yope. After that, we will go with, Mancera Instant Crush. Now, this, of course, really well known for smelling like Baccarat Rouge 540, and it does have that kind of vibe here, so you'll definitely see the similarities. But this one is not quite as cotton candy sweet with woody undertones only. You have more of a warmth and a spiciness that you can pick up here in Instant Crush, which is going to help differentiate it from Baccarat Rouge 540. Really nice vanilla sweetness comes out in this one as it dries down as well. And it's another one that has very good performance, which you probably already knew. I mean, it is a Mancera after all, but pretty loud, good projection, great longevity. So again, keep that in mind. And since it is a Mancera, you can get it for a great price all the time, pretty much. Under 100 bucks for this one, that is the price target that you want to hit. And when you compare that to what designers are going for, especially new ones at retail, it's a steal. After that, we have La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Parfum from Yves Saint Laurent. Now, this one, you know, it didn't get a big bunch of love, big bunch of hype when it came out. And even though it does have that cardamom front and center, it's not crazy close to the original Eau de Toilette. You can tell it's a La Nuit de l'Homme, so I mean, it's not like it's something completely different, but it's not like just a deeper version of the original, I guess. Now, one thing this does have going for it, other than that really nice smelling cardamom off the top, a little bit overlooked by people in the community, including myself, and that's because it's one of those fragrances that when you smell it, if you've smelled a whole bunch of stuff, you'll just go, oh, it's good, it's fine, but it doesn't maybe blow you away. Kind of like the new YSL Myself. You smell it and you go, oh, this is really pleasant, but smelled stuff like this. That's kind of how this goes for a lot of people who have smelled a billion things. But for your average person, this stuff smells friggin' awesome. And it makes sense why. I mean, a lot of tonka in there, which that note, that ingredient, man, it just, people love it. People love it. That's why you see it in so many men's fragrances across decades. Very warm, smooth, slightly creamy. It has a clean leather in here as well. So you basically get that cardamom leading you into the leather tonka dry down with a little bit of clean lavender in there with the leather, and then also some sandalwood as well. You absolutely never have to worry about this one. You know, it has enough performance to get the job done, but it's not so loud that it's gonna overwhelm people. You don't have to worry if somebody's gonna like it or not, because pretty much everybody is. This one's just like all reliable. If you're talking about a fall fragrance during the evening, that's gonna get it done, that people are gonna like. Let's go back niche with Sol Batik from Maresque. This stuff is awesome. Ooh. This has cardamom, incense, amber, and vanilla. It's another one very warm, extremely rich. That smokiness cuts through right away, but it's not overwhelming. This one is worth it at full retail, 180 bucks, but you can sometimes find it at discounters. I think Fragrance Buy had it for under $100, and it is just an insane deal. Like, just a perfect fall and wintertime scent with really good performance. Actually, Maresque in general has some killer scents. We'll follow that with Bleu de Chanel Parfum from, of course, Chanel. This one you may not think of off the top as a cozy, warm fall time fragrance because it's a blue fragrance at the end of the day, but it does have this added warmth that the other fragrances in the line don't have. And it makes it a little classier, a little more elegant, a little more grown up, and a perfect choice for a fragrance, kind of like Lana Vie de l'Homme over here, if you're looking for something that you just don't have to think about. I was actually going back and forth between Bleu de Chanel Parfum and Sauvage Parfum, trying to figure out which one I wanted to put in the video, so I wore both of them today, and the Bleu de Chanel came out on top. So Bleu de Chanel Parfum, that one, a really great choice if you don't want something that's quite as ambery, quite as resinous, vanilla style as a lot of these others. Speaking of that though, the Most Wanted's up next. So this one, yeah, this one does have more vanilla in it. It's one of those styles of fragrances like Stronger With You, which that one was also. Huh, go figure. This playing, that's like half of the fragrances coming out right now. They've all kind of got a similar thing going on. But to be fair, I like the way they smell, so I'm not arguing or complaining. Now, it's not officially vanilla in here because they only give you 3 notes. It's amberwood, cardamom, and toffee. So yeah, but it's still gonna give you that sort of vibe, you know, that overall feeling. Bottle looks fantastic, performance is here, another one that's a great compliment puller. The Most Wanted, this version, easier to find than the Parfum version, typically from discounters. And for the price, I think it's absolutely worth it for what you can find it at nowadays. Follow that with Montal. So we got Montal and Mancera both in here. Arabians Tonka. And let me tell you, this here is the strongest of the bunch. So if you thought you had to be careful with 1 Million Elixir, which you do, if you're, again, you're wanting something a little cozier, this is stronger. So be aware of that. So this is a saffron oud fragrance that has some similarities to other Montal fragrances that do utilize those notes, but this one has a good amount of sugary sweetness in there as well. Oh, did I say saffron? Oh, did I say saffron oud? I meant saffron, oud, and rose. Yeah, the trifecta, the tried, tested, and true trifecta, that's here. But unlike a lot of other Montal fragrances that use those 3 notes, this one I find much more wearable. Sometimes they can be very screechy, scratchy, synthetically headache-inducing. And don't get me wrong, this can cause a headache if you spray too much because, again, strong, but the sweetness here really helps offset that more typical fragrance style and makes this one a very alluring scent. Just keep it in check. Last but not least, Fahrenheit Le Parfum. That's actually the one that I thought this was when I pulled it out for a second there. When I pulled it out, ooh, this stuff is a 10 out of 10. I love Fahrenheit in pretty much all of its shapes, sizes, and smells. There are a couple that are actually not that great, but most of them I do. Fahrenheit Le Parfum is right up there toward the top. You know, it's got that little hint of the original, a little touch of that petrol gasoline vibe off the top. The leather is smoother here, not as rough, and it has that additional sweetness, that booziness that really elevates the scent profile. Very elegant and sexy and classy, while at the same time having a masculine edge. Fahrenheit Le Parfum is just fantastic stuff. Sometimes a little hard to find, definitely expensive for a designer, but this stuff is amazing. So there we go, those 10 right there. Warm, sexy, cozy, as long as you don't go crazy with the trigger. These things will get you noticed in a very positive way. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.